Yo, 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 yo. Gotta dap you up for this one.
What's
Gotta.
good, my man?
What's good, man? Gotta make sure we get that. Wow. I mean, how about it, man? Last time we were here,
How about them Knicks?
how about them?
How about them?
Wow. I can't even believe it, bro.
5? I said Knicks in 6. They surpassed my expectations, Ryan. Knicks in 5. Jalen Brunson, 45 points. Rest of the team, 49. That's what a franchise player does. Elimination game to win the finals. You got 49 points from everyone else. You gave the team 45. You put them on your back.
You know,
and that's Jalen Brunson, franchise player.
Do you know what my favorite part about the whole NBA finals, before the finals, during the finals, after the finals? Do you know what my favorite part was?
Tell me.
My favorite part was, and I'm not on social media, and you can attest to this, but I don't live under a rock either. I'm not. The two things can be true at once. My favorite part of the entire finals process was Mikal Bridges going on, I think it was IG Live, and he was like, "Shout out Becky Hammond."
I saw that.
He's like, you don't think my boy like hears that shit and knows like we want to like he was like, shout out to Becky Hammond for calling my boy not a 1A, not a 1B. He's too tiny or whatever. He's too short. It's like, shout out. He read that shit. He hears that shit.
Short enough to win a championship.
Hey, he was like, thank you for the extra motivation, basically, which is, I mean, look, elite athletes, elite people in their professions, they find inspiration from places that like most people probably wouldn't care about, but they find that extra reason to be motivated. You know, when you see in the post-game press conferences, like, oh, people always doubted me. It's like, what do you mean? You're in the NBA. What do you mean people doubted you? But they find that extra, like, but I just thought it was funny that it was Mikal Bridges of all people who was like, yeah, shout out Becky Hammond. And then Jalen Brunson's been very humble the whole time. And then, you know, in the parade today, he's like, you know what? When you prove people wrong, you don't got shit to say. Like, you could put that on a fucking t-shirt, man. That's some dope ass shit, man. I can't believe the Knicks are champions. I'm so happy for you, man. First time in our lifetime.
We're back to full delusional Knicks fan. Back like we never left.
So is it a delusional New York sports fan part 2, or is it just a full delusional New York sports fan?
Full. Keep it on the Knicks. Focus got to be on the Knicks.
A full delusional New York Knicks fan.
Full delusion.
A full delusion.
Jalen Brunson is him. He won a championship. We had an amazing playoff run. I mean, we swept. We made the Cavs and Sixers look terrible. Absolutely terrible. We had a certain flow on offense. Everyone's legs were fresh. Mike Brown made the right adjustments at the right time. He proved championship level, which was a question even I had before. Like, will he be the guy to get us over the hump? And for Leon Rose, couldn't have worked more beautifully. He released a statement, we fired Tibbs because we think it's in line with us pursuing a championship, and that's why we now have Mike Brown. And for it to work your first year, our starting 5 stayed the same year over year. But what Mike Brown allowed us to do was, one, attract more bench talent because they knew they'd get minutes. Previously, why would good vets take a cheap deal to go for Tibbs when he might not play you? Then how are you going to get your next contract? Guys that are like, you know, working on like 1 to 2 year deals consistently. But those guys are good. Yeah. Jordan Clarkson.
That was a perfect example, right? Jordan Clarkson wouldn't have gone there with Tibbs.
Yeah, I do. I think he signed it. Like, he took less money than he could have gone because he's like, I want to be a New York Knick. I want to work on.
And he was a big part of the success of the team, right?
Absolutely. He played well for us during the regular season.
And that's part of it.
I hear things. He had stretches of DNPs and stuff, and he didn't pout about it.
Always stay locked in, right?
When he's in, he's going to shoot threes, be aggressive, be him. What makes him great. He's even been pretty engaged defensively.
Yeah. And I think that's the perfect point. It's like, it doesn't always work out that way, but when you make a change like that and it pays off as instantly as it does, it's like you tip your cap.
Absolutely.
And part of it, I know you feel the same way with Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns wouldn't have had that same level of success.
I know for a fact I texted you the day of that trade, and I was absolutely upset. But I always said, if he helps us win a championship, I'll take all that back. And look where we are now.
You take all that back?
I happily take that shit back, man. Happily. I happily take that back. We won an NBA championship. He's an integral part of the team, especially when he got, quote unquote, unlocked during the playoffs, being more of a point center.
They figured some shit out after 82 games of trial and error in the regular season, right? Which is
Pretty
important.
much.
People say the regular season is not important.
It totally matters.
It totally matters because they figured out not only what works, but what doesn't work.
And we had very fortunate that we didn't miss guys for long stretches of time, especially at the end.
And then even a guy like Landry Shamet too,
he turned it up in the postseason. He didn't have the best finals, but he didn't need to because he had to get
but that's what I'm saying. Same thing with Jordan Clarkson. Like, was Jordan Clarkson the reason why they won the final series against the Spurs? Perhaps not. But was he an integral part of helping you get there? Yes. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. This is not necessarily what you do in that 5-game series win. It's what do you do throughout the regular season? What are you contributing in the locker room and practice? Like these guys, like that's the part that a lot of people don't talk about. And so, like, you mentioned the coaching part of it. They were able to, again, the same starting 5 from last year.
The same starting 5, which is hard now.
But they played completely differently. And that was what took them from a team that was good enough to make it to the playoffs, good enough to maybe even make it to the conference finals, but to a team that lost 1 game in the last month and a half of the playoffs.
That was an absurd
2 games. 1 game.
I've never felt anything like that.
Like they lost 3 games in the whole playoffs.
We were just
one of the best
2 sweeps in a row.
2 sweeps in a row. Before that, they'd won 2 games in a row against Atlanta and 2 games at the Spurs.
3.
3. 3.
We were down.
So 3.
We were down 2-1.
That's right.
I was upset.
And that was the last time they lost. So they after that loss, and that was the CJ McCollum shot, right?
That was the CJ McCollum.
So after that CJ McCollum shot, when they went down 2-1, they lost 2 games the rest of the postseason, or 1 game. I don't even remember. Math is difficult for him at the moment.
We just lost the Spurs game.
That because they beat the Hawks. They were down to So they lost 1 game after CJ McCollum hit that shot. 1 fucking game. That's crazy, bro. And you got to tip of your cap. Like they figured some shit out.
Yeah.
They made some adjustments.
I will say, people already saying, well, the Knicks, they had an easy route to the championship. The Spurs are a young team. So all those haters, we beat the Spurs and we were underdogs. We were not the betting favorites.
They beat them in the NBA Cup, too.
We beat them in the NBA Cup. And you know this. I said I'd rather take the Spurs because we could beat them in 6.
Other than OKC, right?
OKC would be in 7.
And OKC didn't even make it. You guys San Antonio?
They didn't even make it. And San Antonio won fair and square.
Yeah.
And, we were able to hold them off.
Yeah. Look,
no matter how bad we played in the fucking first half.
That's what I'm saying. Like, people can make the argument that maybe the Spurs are a better team than the more talented team, but it doesn't matter because the Knicks won the fucking championship.
At the end of the day, when you lose a 7-game series to a team and you were healthy, that means the team that won is the better team.
Because there's
nothing else to say, right?
Exactly.
That's it. The Knicks are the better team.
Case closed.
If they weren't the better team, how would they win all those games? They didn't win 1 game. They didn't win 2 games.
It's a big enough sample size for
3. They won 4. Oh, and we added the cup. That's 5 off the dome.
5 out of 6 games against and then they played in the regular season too, obviously. But besides that, so 5 out of 6 bigger games.
With 4 being NBA Finals victories. All of them won in clutch time, by the way.
And like you mentioned, it because a lot of sometimes people say first half, it's a 4-quarter game. So I think I saw that the Spurs were up by double-digit points in every single first quarter in all 5 games. And they had a lead throughout the majority of most games, especially late in games. But if you can't close, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Not to make this in a way that's weird, but it's all about closing, right? No matter what context it is, you got to be able to close.
Got to close the deal.
Got to close the deal. You can you can be negotiating a big deal. Can you get to the finish line and put the ink on the paper?
It's not done till it's done.
Exactly. You got to win, and you don't get that deal done until you've dotted all your I's and you've crossed all your T's. And the Spurs couldn't do that. And the Knicks were. And part of that is because they got Mr. Fourth Quarter, Jalen Brunson. He's too short. He's not a 1A, 1B. he takes too many shots, blah, 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 blah. He's too tiny, whatever. That motherfucker has been. See, what's funny to me about I want to say something about Jalen Brunson, which I think is hilarious.
Tell me.
All of a sudden, because the Knicks won a championship, it's like he's really great. Motherfucker's been doing that.
He's been amazing for the Knicks, and you remember
and he's been doing that since he signed. By the way,
since he signed, he immediately made his presence known that I am going to be the franchise player here.
Like it's not like he just had some fluky final series. Like
no, he's been good for years. He's on his extension.
Like he's one of the best players in the NBA, and even if they would have lost that series, you still would have said that. But it's just funny to me that all of a sudden they won. It's like, hey, this Jalen Brunson guy's one of the best players in the NBA. It's like, was he not already?
He was already.
He was already. Like, all of a sudden, magically, it's like, oh, hey, this guy should have been in the MVP conversation. It's like, well, that goes to show you why that's such a useless award.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it really just comes down like, who are the media members talking about? If you're not talking about Jalen what are you doing? That guy's incredible, man.
I watched a lot of Knicks games.
Like that dude, and that dude's consistent because he's doing it not just in the. It's not like Jamal Murray, where he's a one-time All-Star in the regular season. It was his best year this year. Like Jalen Brunson's doing this in the regular season, in game 15 of the regular season against Charlotte, and he's doing it in game 20 against Memphis. He's doing it game 25 against the Lakers, game 30 against OKC, game 35 against the Bulls. It doesn't matter who they're playing. He's consistent. He plays the same way every day. Playoff, same way. And against Atlanta, Philly, Cleveland, the Spurs. Even last year, he was fucking spectacular. And I know they lost last year in the playoffs, but he was great last year, too.
Absolutely. He's been great for us ever since we sied him. I didn't think his signing was really going to
turn the all of a sudden team around. And then all of a sudden,
this gave him his own team.
Yeah. And they gave him his Villanova boys.
Oh, yeah.
We mentioned, you don't get Karl Anthony Towns without Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo, one of the Villanova guys.
And Tibbs really turned the team around. Got to give the credit where it's.
That's what, like they don't get to a championship without Tibbs taking them that close, but they also don't get the actual championship without the tactical adjustments that Tibbs would have never made. So again, two things can be true at once, right?
Absolutely. And we've talked about that. I agreed with Tibbs being fired. No disrespect to the man. He turned around the franchise. He was a big part of that. Him and Leon.
Like Randall and all those guys are as big of a reason of why they won a championship, even though they're not there, right?
Yep.
Because you don't get the players and the coaching staff and the tactical thing without those guys, without Randall, without RJ Barrett.
You had to build and see what would work for the championship. Right. Fine tune as you go along.
And
Tom Thibodeau, unfortunately for him, Mike Brown was a bit of the missing piece. But again, I love Tibbs. He turned around a team. He started this. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here right now.
Because they wouldn't have been close enough to think, oh, we're going to get a championship if we make a tweak. That's what, it's like with we talked about this before in a previous recording. It's like when Kawhi went to the Raptors. Like a lot of people, there's like a negative connotation in media circles towards DeMar DeRozan. But you know what? Like DeMar's got to be pretty fucking good to where San Antonio's like, hey, you know what? Like, look, Kawhi Leonard doesn't want to be here, but we're only going to get rid of him if we get that guy. So it's like, will Julius Randle be around in Minnesota if they win? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? But it's kind of a similar thing. Like people bash those sort of players because teams win championships once they're gone, but you don't get that player without having that player to get rid of them for.
Exactly. They contributed.
Like DeMar was an equal, even though he wasn't on the team. Like they don't win a championship if DeMar doesn't get them to the point where they're close enough to get over the hump.
They know they've reached their ceiling.
Exactly. Same thing with the Knicks, like with Tibbs, with those guys. It's like, okay, you got to give credit where it's due because they were good enough to where the Knicks were a bottom team in the league before that. And then they were able to raise the floor high enough. So it's like, hey, we're really close.
Top 3 seed.
Yeah.
Tibbs had 251 seasons in a row.
Yeah. And so I give a lot of credit to the Knicks for being bold enough to make that decision because a lot of organizations would not be bold enough to do that.
Very true.
And so I give credit where it's due. Leon Rose and the gang, top on down. They got my respect. Whether they win again or not, it doesn't matter. Like, they are immortalized. The city went crazy. Today was the parade. Unbelievable scenes throughout the playoff run, especially as it became closer and closer to them winning the finals. You know, once it was like, oh shit, they're in the finals. I mean, it felt like New York City was the buzz of the world. You know, media coverage everywhere. People that were never Knicks fans are all of a sudden wearing Knicks jerseys.
I've seen the switch up, and you know me, man. I was there during all the dark
times. I lived with you through it.
Oh yeah, that was a bad time because we were like the worst team in the league, and I thought we were going to get Zion, Kyrie, KD. We got 0 for 3.
Like I've seen you with the optimism. I've seen you with the pessimism, and those are the episodes. And it's only, I think, ironic, and I think it's in many ways coincidental, full circle, that in a couple of months that we started doing like a pessimistic, a delusional.
The whole series.
It was only once we started the series that the Knicks were like, hey, you know what? We're going to go full delusional for this guy. So I think
they went all out, man.
They went all out because it was like we went through all the cycles of it. A pessimistic New York sports fan, all those different chapters in the series, and we weren't sure how it was going to play out in the playoffs. And for them to actually win the motherfucker, and to win it in 5 and in the manner that they did, I couldn't be happier for you, man. And for all the Knicks fans out there, first championship in 53 years. You and I have never been alive with the Knicks winning the championship.
Yep.
Can't wait, man. Can't wait to celebrate more. And they're going to be the first game of the upcoming season. And I know we'll be back here locked in for that game.
Got to be locked in for that.
And we'll be locked in for the offseason, and we'll talk about your Knicks throughout the offseason.
Interesting comments by James Dolan.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get into that second apron. Gonna have to make some tough decisions. Somebody's gonna have to be gone from the team, but that's how you run a successful business, right?
We're gonna lose a starter, and it's probably Cat because he's on a super max.
Do you think they can stay under that with maybe Mitch Robinson's gone?
I don't know.
Maybe Mitch leaves. I think that's what I think might happen. I think Mitch might walk. Maybe Landry Shamet or something like that, like those sort of guys. Yeah. They'll keep the same starting 5, but then they'll have like the cheapest bench in the league.
Most likely. And then I think the year after next, they're going to have to, I think a player will be gone, most likely.
Yeah, but they got their championship.
Oh, no, we got our championship, which means I don't care about those picks from Mikal Bridges. He contributed.
Fuck them picks, baby.
We got a championship.
Fuck them picks, baby. You got the championship.
Cat trade, everything. It's all good in the hood.
It's all good, baby. Fuck the championship. Fuck the picks. You got the championship. Fuck the championship. No, you got the championship.
We got the championship.
Dylan, I want to ask you, man, any I don't want to even say concluding thoughts because it won't be the last time we talk about it, but just as far as like first recording since the Knicks won the championship, what do you want to say about it? If you had like a little bit of a spiel you wanted to give real quick to put a bow on it and be like, the Knicks are fucking champions. You were at the parade. Like, this is your parade.
This is my parade.
We're in a float right now.
The New York Knicks have been god-awful and given me false hope my entire life. I always knew deep down that even like the mellow teams and all those, we got Amari Stoudemire, I knew he was over the hill, but I lied to myself. We got Carmelo Anthony, and you could tell we're not going to win a championship. In fact, we never even got deep into postseason. And once he left, we all know what happened. Those are the worst times. We didn't have anything. There was no light at the end of the tunnel, especially when you got the players saying, we don't like James Dolan. Like multiple stars being like, yeah, we don't want to play for this guy. You're like, oh my God. And we don't get a number 1 pick. Shout out to lottery in the great tanking controversy series.
Oh, can't forget about that. We got the draft next week too. People got to look forward to you and I for the draft, man.
Absolutely.
With some NBA offseason coverage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Not to side note it too much.
No, yeah.
You got to give the people something to look forward to.
Absolutely. You got to have what is it? Dangle the carrot.
Yeah, there you go. Low hanging fruit or something like that. Dangle the king.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, so back to it. James Dolan.
Look, I genuinely didn't know how we would ever get better. And he hired Leon Rose. He said he was going to focus because I think he was working on MSG Sphere a lot. Essentially, he took a back.
There was some propaganda that was basically came out where it was like, oh, any notion that James Dolan was occupied by this feeder and was not meddling is bullshit. And it's like, this is a propaganda piece.
More propaganda, whatever. As long as he stays out of it.
As long as they win a championship, he can put
stay out of the team, man.
Give James Dolan as much propaganda as he wants to get to keep it that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't care about.
Give him that propaganda. Make him feel like he was the reason they won a championship.
Exactly. And he hired Leon Rose, relinquished control to him, and that act won us a championship.
So make him feel good. That's what I'm saying.
Give him. He won us a championship. I'll say that. He's the owner. He makes the calls. He hired Leon Rose. That started it all. Well, yeah, I hope he stays away. That's my message, actually. I'm not going to do happy parade.
I mean, do a happy parade. It's okay. Take your victory lap.
He needs to.
But you want. So do you want? So you're getting greedy now? You want multiple championships?
Well, of course.
So you're looking. So you want this high again next year?
I know it's hard. And the last the 8 champions?
8 years of no back to back. Yeah. Since the Warriors.
But look, we're gonna have continuity with our starting 5. Obviously, like OG Anunoby is someone who gets hurt a lot, but he had a really good healthy season. So you have to kind of bake in that you're not going to have everyone fully healthy the whole season. So what happens then? So it depends how we build our bench. Because I do think, we're a championship team in New York City, historic, the shebang. We're going to get a lot of guys that the good teams do that are going to sign for minimums. That could get more somewhere else. We're like, no, I want to compete for a championship. So hopefully we could fill up our bench a bit, keep our starting 5, make another run this coming year.
I love it, man.
I mean, look, we'll see how the landscape looks. I feel like there's going to be a lot of transactions this season.
We'll talk about it. It's going to be a crazy offseason.
Shout out Giannis. That trade, if it doesn't happen before the draft, it's a joke. They've cried wolf too many times at that point.
Bro, there's been too many articles about it. They've been pumping out the same article with the different words from the same people for about
several years now.
Dude,
2 years, 2 seasons, right?
It's amazing that it's like at a certain point we got to talk about something else in the media circle. I mean, we talk about whatever, but like I'm talking about, the ones that get paid to like funnel information. It's just every day. It's like something about Giannis that they're saying the same thing, but they just phrase the words a little bit differently. They make it seem like they're talking about something new. Yeah. But in reality, like we come on here and we always say like just because you talk about something once doesn't mean you can't talk about it again multiple times. But the difference is when you're trying to sell that as new information. And it's like, well, until there's something that happens with Giannis, I don't want to talk about it. Until that motherfucker gets traded, we're just giving that oxygen that's not like once it gets, because like you said, if it doesn't happen by a certain point, it's like, when is it like? Why are we continuing?
Like stop talking about it.
Yeah. Like let's move on to something else.
I feel like if it's the start of the season and he hasn't been traded,
brother, if it's
like, come on, that's over 2 seasons.
Yeah,
it's too much.
Yeah, too much edging, man.
It's
like,
weird.
We got to move on to something else.
Like, why the franchise too? It's like you're not going to win a championship when your star's in limbo like that.
Yeah, listen, if you gotta take the best deal that you can get.
They have to trade him.
I agree. Look, Milwaukee's in the spot, man. Trade him. Get an extra. Look, we'll see where it is. Like, okay, you trade him to Miami, hypothetically. Take that 13th pick, and then you got 10 and 13 in a really deep, best draft of our lifetime, best draft in the history of the league. Take those 2 lottery picks. See what happens, bro.
See what happens. You still have Miles Turner.
Who's to see that those 2 players combined can't equal something greater than Giannis? Why are you holding on to the motherfucker? Get rid of him, because the longer you keep him, and that 13th pick's going to come and go. And then Miami's going to be at 13 still. They're going to take some motherfucker that's going to be really good, and Miami's going to say, oh, man, we're so glad we didn't trade for Giannis. Like, if you're in Milwaukee, you got to be the smart, proactive ones and be like, listen, this is a guy who's like, get rid of him. Let him go.
You might as well. He clearly wants to go.
Let him go. Let him go get the
best. You know his agent's pumping out half of his media.
Let him go. Get whatever you can get that makes your team better in the long term, because you're not winning with Giannis right now. But if you flip him now, maybe your future is better. But if you keep holding on to him, you're just kicking the can down the road. And, it's like the Angels and Mike Trout. And show it.
He went on the IL today, Mike Trout.
That's my point. Like, at a certain point, you got to flip the asset, because otherwise, Giannis is already injury prone. But he's got the value of the media and the name value and whatever.
MVP.
Flip that. Well, his value is never It might never be as high as it is today.
Yeah, if he had another injury-prone season, his value tanks. And he's also on an expiring deal at that point.
And look, if he ends up being MVP honest somewhere else, you tip your cap because at least you're getting something back.
And here's the thing. He's clearly, based on all this media attention that his agent pumping out versus all the reporting, he's clearly not engaged in Milwaukee. It's hard to be engaged when a player doesn't have rumors around him for 2 seasons.
If they're not engaged.
Exactly. If they're not a part of the process.
Because who are these sources that they're talking?
Because other players, if they didn't like it, would shut it down immediately. He never completely shut it down.
I don't know. It's like one of the, the road, the pedal, or does she love me? Does she love me not?
It's too much, man.
I don't got the flower. We're at the end of the flower. The flower's gone. We've gone through like 10 flowers. Let's talk about other people. But it is a big component. We're going to come here, hopefully, knock on wood, for the draft. We're going to talk about the offseason throughout the offseason. But you can't get to the draft and you can't get the offseason without your victory parade for your New York Knicks. I'm proud of you, man.
Hey, man, I'm happy to be here as a New York Knicks fan.
A delusional.
Look, I went to work on Monday. I wore orange and blue tie. I had my Knicks socks on.
Oh, yeah. A fully
suited up, but Knicks socks are on.
A fully delusional New York
sports. I showed up to work delusional.
A fully delusional New York Knicks fan.
We're here.
We're here. It's the champ. I love you, man. We're gonna get it cracking multiple times throughout the rest of the off season, and I look forward to you and me coming on here first game of the year. We can manifest that a couple months in advance. First game of the season, it'll be the Knicks. You and I will do one of these, and we'll cheers in the new season with the Knicks hanging the banner and game 1 of 82 of the 26-27 season.
Sounds electric, Ryan.
I love you, brother. It's been a pleasure.
Always.
Always happy to spread some Knicks propaganda with you only. If it's not with you, we don't do Knicks propaganda, but with you, I'm always happy to do it, man.
Well, I appreciate that. But maybe you should spread it with other people too. Spread it out a bit.
We're getting there.
We gotta increase the Knicks propaganda.
We're getting there. We gotta start it. You gotta be the one to let the people know how good the propaganda, because I can't be the one to spread the propaganda.
That's fair. Okay.
We gotta let you do it and open the door for other people to spread Knicks propaganda. And no better place to start than with you, a real Knicks fan who's been through the trials and tribulations. So this championship is much yours as it is anybody else.
Oh, yeah.
Don't let anyone take it away from me, man. My name is Ryan Arman. I appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you for having me.
We'll be back very shortly with another one in just a couple of days, knock on wood, for the draft. Love you, man.
Pleasure's always.